Carter is a South Korean action thriller movie that is now streaming on Netflix right now. It actually came out, I think, a couple of months ago, sometime in August. I can't remember the exact date. I just took like a 2-week vacation because of my birthday, and now I'm back doing videos, and it's like, oh shit, it's October. Wasn't it like a week ago that September just started a week ago, bro? It's like the year is trying to rush us towards 2023 so that we can see Dune Part 2 quicker, which, you know what? I respect the year for doing that. Either way, Carter, like I said, is an action movie now streaming on Netflix. It's directed by byung-gil, and it stars Joe Wan, I think that's his name. Basic story in this movie is that a man wakes up without his memories, and there's a mysterious voice in his ear telling him where to go and what to do. And all of a sudden, everybody is attacking him for various reasons, and he has to navigate his way through all of these fist fights and gunfights and car chases and blah, 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 because it's a hostage rescue mission, and he has to rescue people and get them to safety. Meanwhile, everybody's trying to kill him and trying to acquire the target, and that's the movie. I wasn't really prepared for whatever this movie was going to be. Like, I heard from some people like, oh my god, the action's insane, and I was like, okay, people like you always say the action's insane, but then when you actually get to the movie, what do you get? I'll tell you what you get. You get the gray man. That's what you get. Okay, I'm not going to slander the gray man. The gray man, it had a couple of good moments, I'm not gonna lie. So I went into this movie with tempered expectations. I was expecting a lot of great action, maybe not much else. And you know what? The movie has a lot of great action and not much else. When it comes to this movie, the conversation begins and ends with the action sequences. Like, this movie is pretty much one long, prolonged action sequence, pretty much one long extended take enhanced by drone footage. Like, there's a lot of drone shots in this movie. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the entire movie was shot on a drone. So there's not really cuts, or at least they try to give the illusion where there's not that many cuts. And I do want to give Ju-won some credit. He is the main actor in this movie, the main character. The commitment that he shows in the physicality of some of these action sequences. This guy put his entire foot, his entire ass into this role. Like, he did everything. You can see him physically in almost all of the stunts in this movie. Shout out to the stunt performers, all the people who worked on the choreography for this movie. It's really exciting stuff. It's very brutal, very bloody. Like, this movie definitely, like, it's probably one of, if not the most gory movie I've seen all year. It's fist fights or knife fights, it's car chases, motorcycle chases, helicopter chases, helicopters chasing trains, airplane sequences. Like, there's zombies that show up in this movie. Like, it's kind of crazy, all of the areas that this movie is going. This movie kind of feels like if Crank and Hardcore Henry had a baby, it would be Carter. Carter would be the name of that baby. Drone shots in this movie, they're absolutely insane. They're dizzying. And for some people, they are actually going to get dizzy and maybe get sick watching this movie. The action sequences are incredible. They're mind-blowing. They're absurd. They're ridiculous, kind of like on a Fast and Furious type of level. And the fact that there's like a virus outbreak that exists in the background of all of this is kind of cool. Like, it adds a little bit of an extra layer to the story that maybe it wouldn't have had otherwise. But I did mention a key word there, story. And when it comes to story, this movie is, well, you shouldn't watch this movie for the story. When it comes to dialogue, when it comes to script, when it comes to characters, like, the movie is not really focused on any of that. The story here is needlessly messy and convoluted. Some parts of it are confusing, don't make a lot of sense. Characters and their motivations and what they do, what they say, doesn't always mesh up, doesn't always make a lot of sense. In fact, if you're looking for real character development in this movie, it's just not here. There's no character development at all. It would have been nice to break up the monotony of the drone shots and the single shot sequences, where you could have slowed things down and you could have had some moments to let some shit sink in. This movie needed to slow down and catch its breath a little bit and allowed you to spend more time with the characters and spend more time developing the story. Unfortunately, there's really no time for that. The whole movie is basically one long single action sequence. Like, every single scene transitions into another action sequence. At a certain point, you just kind of get exhausted because you're just being waterboarded with all of this ridiculous, awesome, but also absurd and silly action, and it's just bombarding you with it scene by scene by scene, and you don't really get a chance to get attached to anything else in the movie. You're gonna be scratching your head at a few different points in the movie because you feel like the movie just kind of word vomits explanations out for stuff that's happening, and you're still confused. This is action cinema at its most craziest, and if you're a fan of that type of movie, well, I feel like you and your brain cells will have no problem at all. If you're going into this movie looking for something a little bit more Well, I had a decent time watching Carter. It's not a great movie, but I had fun. I'm gonna leave this one in the Daily Planet. Guys, what's your favorite action movie of 2022? Give me that movie in the comment section down below. Stay tuned for more videos. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and if you like what you see, tell me how you feel. Stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.